Hey guys, so as promised, I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of the model that was played out at 3 a.m. Both the London Twilight and the Asian Range model played out very, very nicely. So we tapped into a weekly fair value gap here. I'm going to show you guys the SMT with ES. So this specific low over here on NQ was never broken. However, on ES, for example, we'll just zoom out of this. You can see this low on ES was taken. So let me just get that drawn out here. So we took out those lows on ES, forming that SMT ultimately. So lows taken on ES, lows not taken on NQ, that is an SMT at a specific time of day. What time? Well, 3 a.m. So the SMT becomes way more important due to the fact that it's occurring at a specific time of the day. Okay, so we got the SMT out of the way. What else do we notice here? Well, we have the Asian range high and low. We are currently below the Asian range inside of a key level. What is the key level? A weekly fair value gap. The one that I pointed out during the weekly analysis report released on Sunday, so yesterday. Below the Asian range into the weekly fair value gap. What else do we notice? Well, if we hop onto a 1 hour time frame, we have a 1 hour CRT with the 2 a.m. candle. So we have this CRT right over here. So as you guys can see, candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, right? Very, very clear. Let's drop down to a 1 minute time frame to see this a little bit better here. Breaking to the downside, rejecting the high, breaking down, finally below the Asian range into a key level, SMT at a specific time. What time? 3 a.m. What else happened here? Well, we saw a consolidation, high, low, rejecting the low, breaking through the high that rejected the low at a key time of 3 a.m. within the weekly fair value gap while forming a potential Asian range model. How do you confirm the London Twilight? We'll start with the London Twilight and then we'll tap into the Asian range model. All right. So to confirm the London Twilight, you need a timed CRT, that being the 2 a.m. candle. You need a timed purge of that CRT, being the 3 a.m. candle. You need a key level, being this weekly fair value gap, and a potential 15-minute CRT, which we did indeed get. So this high right over here being that 15-minute CRT high. Let's mark that out in red. 15-minute CRT low aligns with the 2 a.m. lows as well. Let's drop down to that 1 minute time frame now. On the 1 minute time frame, you can see before the 15-minute CRT high was created, we formed the order block right over here. So this thick red line is the order block. We got the close above that order block with the 305 candle. Entry as soon as we tap back into it down here. Targeting, where are you targeting? The highs, the 2 a.m. highs. And your entry would have looked something like this. Targeting these highs right over here, going for around 283.25 points with a nice 54-point stop loss, giving you a nice 5.2 R to R trade. Okay, so this was the London Twilight in itself. Now, aligning the London Twilight with the Asian range model, what could you have waited for extra confirmation? So instead of targeting this level here, you could have targeted the Asian range highs with the Asian range midpoint. But how can you use the Asian range model for confluence with this London Twilight? Head over to a 3-minute or 5-minute time frame. Okay, in this scenario, we do have a 3-minute fair value gap, but we also have a 5-minute fair value gap overlapping that 3-minute. So we're sticking with the 5-minute time frame. As soon as you get a displacement into the Asian range with the key level and the SMT, of course, at a specific time of day, London twilight, this retracement into this fair value gap would be the valid entry. So as soon as we displaced and this 315 candle on the 5-minute time frame closed, you now have the entry. So you would be looking to enter right after this candlestick forms. So we're gonna mark this out in blue, dropping down to a 1-minute time frame. What do you notice? As soon as this candlestick formed, we retraced into that fair value gap. You would be looking for your entry in that fair value gap. And look what happens. We actually respected a breaker as well, right over here. Breaker fully respected with the retracement to the downside. Breaker, fair value gap, entry, targeting the opposing end of the Asian range. Your long would have looked something like this. So we have the entry down here, targeting the opposing end of the Asian range. You're going for a 422-point move with your stop loss at these swing lows. Okay, so this is a 123-point stop loss. That is a valid stop loss to have. However, if you are on the 5-minute time frame, you can also have another stop loss position. Right? Where would that stop loss position be? Right at the low of the candle that formed the fair value gap. That brings your R to R to a 5.78 with a 73-point stop loss, targeting 422 points in profit, and the midpoint of the Asian range being your TP1, which was right below the 2 a.m. highs. So the CRT, London Twilight CRT, aligned perfectly with the Asian range model. And this was a beautiful trade that could have been executed. I was not awake during the London session, or else I would have taken this. However, tonight I should be up for the London session. Why am I going to be up? Well, I mean, volatility is up, and I personally prefer trading the London Twilight session. The only reason I don't really lean towards it as much is because of the fact that volatility is usually low. However, in times like these, in markets like these, I'm going to take full advantage of the volatility and head into the London session. Why? Well, London session has a lot less manual manipulation compared to the New York AM session with the market open, etc., etc. So that's the breakdown. That's what happened. Thank you for watching, and be prepared for tomorrow. There's also going to be a weekly analysis report being released as soon as Monday's bell closes. So we're going to have Monday's range form, and then I'll release a second weekly analysis video on top of the one that was released on Sunday. All right? Have a nice one.